Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, and today, liberals across the nation are terrified by a rising Christian nationalism surging across the country. We're going to take a look at a study that has the woke left petrified, and we're going to see precisely why they ain't seen nothing yet. A new study was just released showing that Christian nationalism is indeed rising in popularity among the American electorate. A report from the Public Religion Research Institute detailed the responses of over 5,000 respondents representing all 50 states and who were asked if they agreed or strongly agreed with these statements. 1, the U.S. government should declare America a Christian nation. 2, U.S. laws should be based on Christian values. 3, if the U.S. moves away from our Christian foundations, we will not have a country anymore. 4, being Christian is an important part of being truly American. And 5, God has called Christians to exercise dominion over all areas of American society. The results for liberals were terrifying. According to the study, 30% of the American public either agrees or strongly agrees with every single one of those statements. 30%. 64% of white evangelical Protestants identify as either adherents or sympathizers of Christian nationalism. 38% of black Protestants, 43% of Hispanic Protestants, and 52% of other non-white Protestants say they sympathize or adhere to Christian nationalism. Now, these numbers are astonishing given the tortured attempts by the legacy media to convince us that our nation is getting less and less religious. It's very interesting because you'll notice here, at the same time the legacy media is trying to pass our country off as increasingly secular, they're more and more freaked out over the rise of Christian nationalism. I mean, you really saw this come to the fore with the overturning of Roe v. Wade, when the Supreme Court became public enemy number one for many on the left, who were accusing and continue to accuse the court of wanting to impose nothing less than what they're calling theocratic rule over the nation. Part of this hysteria, of course, is an attempt to galvanize a liberal left revolt against these supposedly theocratic forces. And there's been no shortage of proposals for how to defeat the rise of the Christian right in the process. Unfortunately for left-wing liberals, all of this copium is just that. All of these efforts at galvanizing and fighting back are ultimately futile. Liberals in many ways are guaranteeing that Christian nationalism is the wave of the future. This 30% is just the beginning, and liberals only have themselves to blame. And that's because liberals aren't simply losing. Liberalism is dying, literally. It's dying everywhere. And we, in fact, have the studies to prove it, and they're going to absolutely blow your mind. But first, gang, do you want to know something that really determines the trajectory of our nation? Well, it's your health, of course. You can't do anything to save our country if you aren't healthy. And a big part of that is, you guessed it, taking care of your liver. Your liver is your body's master detoxifier. But after decades of wear and tear, our livers slow down and become sluggish. This is why so many of us struggle with weight gain and feeling tired all the time. Fortunately, there's a simple, all-natural solution. Liver Health Formula contains 12 powerful botanicals clinically proven to recharge and protect your liver at the cellular level. It helps restore your liver's detoxifying abilities. It boosts your energy levels and can kick your natural metabolism into high gear. It also works remarkably well to fight fatty liver, right? Which is a silent epidemic affecting 100 million Americans. Liver Health Formula is backed by proven science and approved by American doctors. You know the best part of it all? Every bottle is manufactured right here in the USA. And if you click on that link below right now, you can try Liver Health Formula completely risk-free and receive 5 free gifts when you order today. You'll receive a free 30-day supply of blood sugar formula to reduce your sugar cravings, and you also get 4 free ebooks to support every aspect of your health. Click on that link below or go to getliverhelp.com/Turley right now to claim your risk-free supply of liver health formula and all 5 bonus gifts. That's getliverhelp.com/Turley. A number of studies have examined the significant fertility differences between atheists and the religious, and between liberals and conservatives. And in all kinds of demographic studies, we're talking all over the world, but particularly in North America and Europe, there was a clear and direct relationship between how right-wing you were and how many children you had. So, for example, in 2010, the average number of children born to leftist liberals in the United States was about 1.8. However, the average number of children born to what demographers term the far right was 3. Again, this is a pattern that holds throughout the West in both the United States and Europe. On average, conservatives have a fertility advantage over liberals by 40%. But it's even more dramatic when you compare conservative religionists with atheists or agnostics. For every 1 child born to the irreligious, 2 are born to the religious. Another factor in all of this is that children born to conservative Christian families are increasingly likely to retain that religious conservatism into adulthood. University of London demographer Eric Kaufman has documented how the retention rate among the Amish has actually been increasing over the last few decades. It's upwards now to 85% of Amish youth retain their faith into adulthood. Kaufman notes similar retention rates are seen among conservative evangelicals. We're talking about 70% retention rates. And one of the reasons for that, is documented by Edward Dutton's research, is that religion and political persuasion are highly heritable, meaning they're largely inherited by genetics. Jordan Peterson has talked about this a lot. There's a wide body of literature that's shown that both religious sentiments and political leanings tend to come from our temperaments, and our temperaments are largely inherited. They're largely genetic. So what this means is that as liberals demographically decline, conservative Christians and conservative religionists in general will start constituting a greater percentage of the overall population. And that appears to be exactly what the study on Christian nationalism is finding out. It's already happening inside the church. Conservative evangelicals have grown from about 20% of Protestant churches in the 1950s, today over 60%. So the liberal church is basically going extinct. Remember, liberal mainline churches used to be the dominant churches. Now they're quite literally turning into museums. And what these demographic studies are pointing to is that demise is the future of liberals all across the board. It's in just another decade or so, demographers are predicting that the United States is going to be a very, very different place, where there will be approximately 4 far-right white females for every 1 far-left white female. In other words, there's little to nothing that liberals can do to stop the rise of Christian nationalism. And again, they only have themselves to blame. If you don't replace yourself, don't expect your vision of politics to continue. So this study on the rise of Christian nationalism across the country isn't so much a warning or a call to action for liberals. In many ways, it's a prophecy, one forecasting their own inevitable demise. As always, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. You'll definitely want to check out my latest video on a number of Oregon counties seceding. It's astonishing. It actually looks like it's about to happen. The legislatures are getting involved. You're not going to believe it. So make sure to click on that link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.